So we've all heard young ladies complain of these men that have commitment issues and he won't grow up and he won't commit to me and stuff like that. Even though she had plenty of men in her past that were begging her to be their wife or girlfriend, whatever the case is. You dig what I'm saying? Uh, all that they were asking her to be committed and all that, but for whatever reason, they just couldn't cut it. They didn't make the cut for whatever silly reason. The reason is she probably got turned off that these guys were uh so desperate, or I don't want to say desperate, were wanting a relationship so bad, which is backwards because ultimately that's what a lot of chicks want, supposedly, right? But these are the type of guys that these chicks complain about, and the type of guys that I'm talking about is the ones who do well with women, the type of guys who get play, or not even guys that are like players with just a shit ton of women and stuff like that, but just guys who know that they have options, or they know that they're wanted by a good number of women, right? Because let's face it, most guys, right? Most guys are the ones who ask for the relationship. And I'm going to get into it. This is Tarik Talks. Let's be quite frank. Let's be quite honest here. Most of the time, it's the guy asking for the relationship, right? Most of the time, it is the dude asking for a relationship based on what I've seen, based on what I've kind of noticed. Okay. It's almost always the guy who is trying to, and I'm not talking about marriage or anything. I'm just talking about getting together as boyfriend, girlfriend, all that type of stuff. And this is how it is in modern times. While before, it was a lot of times the chick was the one that was really the one that wanted the relationship bad and all that good stuff. Okay. But the guys who do well with women, they really are the ones that know that there's a couple of women that are eyeing him, right? This is the type of guy that, in general, the type of chick that is most likely to be attracted to him, whether he's hood, preppy, country, white, black, his whatever his little demographic is, or Ron Wills calls it his tribe, right? Whatever his tribe is, this type of guy, he gets attention from a good majority from whatever women are in his tribe. So for him, it's like, why? Why should I just settle down with one chick? You know what I'm talking about? And this is a lot of these guys' mindset. This is a lot of these guys' mindset because they, as men, admittedly, and everybody knows this, okay, we we soil our royal oats. That's what we do. We like to be with different women, right? Of course, not saying every single guy who does well with women doesn't settle down. He does at some point in his life, just not very much. See, that's the difference. It's like a polarity. I'm not saying that the guy who gets a lot of play or who does well with women never settles down. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying he's way more or less likely. Okay. I'm gonna give you guys an example. The average guy, or the guy that, kind of struggles, every single chick he meets, he's trying to lock them down and cuff them and, make them relationship, girlfriend and shit like that. We've all met these type of guys where they get out of one serious long-term relationship and they hop in straight into another one, right? They hop in straight into another one shortly after that. Well, that's kind of because they have to some extent, right? Once again, I'm not saying that guys that don't get a lot of play wouldn't do that. They're just way less likely. See, the guys that do well with women, they'll have flings, right? They'll have a lot of fling, and this is just the way it is, fellas, right? They'll have a lot of flings, a lot of casual encounters. Then they'll add on a relationship. You feel what I'm saying? Then they'll get into it. Am I saying it's wrong or right? No. Okay. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that's what it is. They'll have many casual encounters in between, as opposed to the other guy who doesn't do too well. He'll have a shit ton of serious relationships, but a few flings in between, a few flings. While as the guy who does well with women, he'll mostly have flings, right? As a matter of fact, this is the type of guy that will mostly have flings. Like most of the chicks he's been with have just been kind of casual. And a lot of the chicks the chicks that he's with, he'll hear shit like, what are we? Or this is taking too long, or, I want commitment. Or he'll hear something like, I want to be in a serious relationship, from the women. The women are saying this. The chicks are saying this. They're like, damn, come on, please, please, but at least make me your girlfriend. You know what I'm talking about? And this is something that, like I said, is rare to the average dude, because a lot of times it's the guys saying that. A lot of times it's the guys, and I'm just keeping it funky. I'm keeping it 100. A lot of times it's the guy kind of begging for a relationship, kind of begging for her to settle down with him. And a lot of guys don't want to admit it, but it's the truth. This is the way, on another note, how masculinity got flipped around into something that is kind of like, now the guy's acting more weak. Now the guy's acting more feminine. You guys notice a lot of guys are acting kind of like the women are, and a lot of women are acting like the guys. Man, I see these chicks out here, dog. They be holding their imaginary nuts, man. They walk around, me mugging, hands tensed up, looking mad and angry. And a lot of these dudes are kind of flimsy. And I'm being for real, man. Like, this is the state of how it is currently, right? But the guys that, and these guys have a level of masculinity to them as well, right? And they just don't see the reason in committing so quick. They know, these guys know that they do pretty well with getting chicks, right? Like, if they go out, whether it be to a lounge, club, store, gym, whatever, they're getting constant attention. Am I saying they're smashing all of these chicks? No, but it's more than the average guy, right? It's more than the average guy. These are the guys that have a steady, chicks, steady amount of chicks, right? They'll have multiple flings, whether it be the girl he met at a bar, or whether he met this chick online, or whether he met her in a store, whether he met her in a gym. Whatever the case is, he's got a steady thing going. Whether he met her at a freaking park, whatever the case is, he's got a steady flow of chicks. If one of them drops off, he'll shortly get another one. It might not be the next day or some shit like that, but shortly after, he'll replace her. And furthermore, these chicks are attractive. They are attractive. They are in a general consensus would consider them attractive, right? So they're getting plenty. And some of the more advanced ones, some of the more guys that are a little more advanced, that watch this type of material or have self-developed themselves, they don't want to. Another reason why they don't want to commit is because they see how these chicks behave, right? They see them as fun girls. They see them as a girl that is just for fun purposes, because they see the way they move, right? And a lot of times these type of guys, chicks, because a lot of young ladies now are liberated and all that good stuff, these chicks will come on to these guys, right? These chicks will come on to these guys, so it's even easier. It's like, okay, she wants fun and I want fun. There's no need for me to get in a relationship here. Ain't no need for me to get in a relationship here because, yeah, she's for fun. But other than that, I don't see anything else going on. Right? I don't see anything else going on with this chick besides having fun. It's like these type of guys, their mindset is very different. It is very different. They're not in a rush. They're in no rush. They're not over here constantly on a chick's coattail, constantly trying to chase her and stuff like that. Now, don't get it twisted. They might like the chick. They might like having their fun with them, but that's about the extent of it, right? That's about the most that it's gonna go. You're not gonna hear him ask for commitment anytime soon. As a matter of fact, he'll try to keep it casual for as long as possible until the chick is like, damn, how long am I gonna be your side piece? Or how long am I, you know what I'm saying? How long am I gonna be your fling or casual hookup? And for these type of guys, they don't give a damn. They'll go on forever doing that if given the opportunity. But we all know chicks, even the biggest 304 or whatever you want to call her, at some point, if she's really into this guy, if he really got her hooked, she's going to start wanting a relationship. Okay. Anyway, with that being said, I hope y'all enjoy the video. Peace.